did it. Good job.
Yeah, I did. I did it by myself. God damn, that was great.
That was.
What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Trump City Heavyweights Podcast, brought to you by the Great Eight Sports Memorabilia in Towson, Parkville area. I am the host, Matt Trigger. With me, as always, is my co-host, Josh Merrill. Josh, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, Matt? Coming live from the man cave. I'm glad the preseason is over. We can now close this book and move on to the regular season.
Absolutely. That was quite the boring preseason game.
Horrible preseason.
Lost a close one to the Tampa Bay Bucket. It was horrible. Yeah, I mean, I think we needed this kind of game just to. I'm not making excuses for the loss because at the end of the day, a loss is a loss. It's a preseason loss at that. Um, you know, we go into the preseason with 23 wins in a row, 24 wins in a row, and then you lose the final 2 out of 3. But it was a little bit eye opening. I think some of the roster questions that we had after Monday night are kind of clear cut now, as opposed to where we were a couple of days ago. I think that we have seen the last of Ben Cleveland as a Baltimore Raven. I think he might be one of those guys you keep on the
He'll get
practice
another
squad.
chance. Yeah, he'll get on just from his size, so he'll get somewhere
Yeah, he'll
if
get
it's not
somewhere
here.
because of that. James Prochet's played his last game as a Raven. He looked okay tonight. I just don't think he did enough to beat out Tylan Wallace for that last wide receiver spot. And
No, Tylen
Laquan
Wallace has
Treadwell played.
sealed his name in cement, I believe. I believe
Yeah, and
Wallace was never on the bubble anyway because he's too good at special teams, but I think he's shown that he can get some looks on offense.
he did, and he's also back up, on the punt return aspect to where he could be one of those guys if Duvernay or Hill can't get out there, you can throw him out there, and he's reliable. He sees the field very well, and
And I
um,
think he fits this offense a lot better than he did Greg Romans, to be honest.
I agree with you. I think that he fits the offense rather well, just from the looks of things. Another wide receiver that I thought made some noise early on was Laquan Treadwell. He caught a touchdown pass early. Um,
He did.
he might not be one of those guys that makes the 53, but it wouldn't surprise me if he passes through waivers and he's one of those veteran additions to the practice squad to where we kind of keep him around as a vet. Travis Vokalek didn't really do a whole lot tonight. He didn't. I don't think he had a catch after his 2
No.
touchdowns last week. I think I think Tampa, played us rather well. So Vokalek might be another one of those guys that slips through and can possibly hit the practice squad. Somebody might claim him that might need help with tight end. But, with the preseason being just that, this was his chance to get on somebody's 53, and he didn't take advantage of that either. Um, Dante Demas Jr. from Maryland.
Made
The
a hell
dude
of a catch.
he had 2 fantastic catches. I would like to see him make it to the practice squad if that's possible. It's going to be very telling because now, instead of doing week by week cuts, the NFL this year is doing back to the one fell swoop of cuts on the
Yeah.
going from 90 down to 53. And that's going to be done by Tuesday afternoon. So just to kind of promote it, our super show will be on Wednesday night for the Ravens season preview, tentatively scheduled for Wednesday night. We should have some good guests coming on the show for that. But kind of staying on the offensive side of the ball, Melvin Gordon, he's just lost too many steps to really make it. The fact that he was still playing in the fourth quarter tonight said all you needed to know about that. The kid Wright might make the practice squad as another running back.
Yeah, that kid Wright runs hard, man.
I think Keaton Mitchell makes the team. He didn't even play tonight.
No. It looks like he's going to make the team.
I like how WBAL kind of went through every couple commercial breaks and was posting. Rod and Jerry were posting who they thought was going to make the roster. So that was was pretty cool to see. They had Keaton Mitchell making it as the fourth running back, and I don't think there's really any other questions. It's going to be interesting to see who we start at left guard. I do believe it's going to come down to McCary and Simpson. Nobody else has really stood out. Cleveland is definitely not going to make it as a starter. He's not even going to make it as a backup. I think the center guard, Mustafa, I think he makes the team. The young rookie Samoan offensive lineman makes the team, even though he missed a horrible block earlier on. He was damn near chasing the guy down trying to block him, and it didn't look good. So I think he does make the squad by default. Looking at the game, what stood out to you offensively that is, a positive and a negative?
I think a negative is nobody, like you just said, won the spot for left guard. That's a worry to me. The positive is it looks like receivers are getting open in space, something we haven't seen here in many years, if ever. You can see that. You can see the running game looks like it's going to be strong again. It's hard to say in the fucking preseason, man. I can tell you my biggest concern overall is that these young corners that we're counting on to play don't look like they're ready. I know Caillou Blue Kelly, he seems like a hell of a tackler, but he can't cover yet. I know he settled down as the game went on, but when real talent was in there, guys who are going to be playing on Sundays, he looks lost. He settled down when it's guys, who probably this is their Super Bowl and never going to play a game again.
I agree with you. And now that we're talking about the defensive side of the ball a little bit, Josh, you're right. Caillou Blue Kelly had, settled down later on as the game went on, but he was getting worked over by Chris Godwin and the first string offensive pass catchers
But he can tackle though. That's a good sign.
He can tackle. That's fair.
He's not afraid to come up and make a hit.
That's fair, but I think people are forgetting that the first three cornerbacks that are going to be out there against the Texans weren't out there tonight. You didn't see a whole lot of Brandon Stevens, if at all. You didn't see Rock Ya-Sin. You didn't see Ronald Darby. So in theory, if you truly want to think about it, Kelly is the fifth or the sixth cornerback on this team anyway. Jalen Armour Davis didn't look too well out there.
My worry, Matt, is maybe I wasn't clear. Maybe I didn't get it out. But my worry is these guys in front of them have huge injury past. Darby has a past of injuries, and so does what's his name we got from Vegas.
Rock Ya-Sin.
Rock Ya-Sin, yeah. Both of them are injury prone. I don't want to say they're injury prone, but both have a history of injuries. So these young guys we may have to count on to get through the season is what I'm trying to say. And neither one of them really look like they're ready. Also, who else let me down tonight was Harrison, man. I liked him coming out of Ohio State. He was always a thumper. Last year he seemed to be able to hold the edge well, and he did a lot well. But tonight he had a horrible game.
Yeah, he played a lot of inside linebacker tonight. He played more inside than on the edge. And I think
he was having a hell of a time.
I think that he is probably better suited for the edge, but he had to play inside because we don't have a whole lot of inside linebackers. It was to the point where they had Jeremiah Moon, who's an edge rusher. He was playing in coverage quite often in the third and fourth quarter. Yeah. And
what about Ajabo, man? He looked awful stiff to me. Didn't show a lot of moves. He just kind of looked stiff tonight. I'm praying to God he's saving his moves for the season.
But the thing is, I don't know why you would do that. This is where you got to go out and do it. When you get the preseason reps, that's what you got to do, man. You cannot go out there and just do a bull rush or a dip or a swim. You got to start putting your combinations together because right now what Houston is seeing is that we have no pass rush. They know what Jadeveon Clowney can do.
Yes.
That's That's not a problem. They know what Jadeveon can do. So at what point are you like, hey, we got to fix this? And I get it. Owave didn't play. Bowser didn't play.
I
We don't
would
even know.
not. I would not be shocked to see something him grab somebody off the street, a name, or I don't know, make some kind of trade. I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked. They got to know the pass rush is not looking promising.
It's not. The defense looks. The defense is more of a question mark than the offense going into week one. There's a couple players that could possibly be moved to
Yeah.
acquire another edge rusher or cornerback. And I think one of those people that's expendable, he's not, I don't know, I hate to say expendable because I can't find a better word for it, but Duvernay seems like he's the odd man out in terms of the prominent pass catchers on the team. He's like number 5 or 6 on the pecking order right now when it comes
My,
to.
is he falling? Jeez, man.
Last year we were talking about him being our number 2, possibly our number 1, and now we're talking about he could get moved. He's making a lot of money. He's still a very good football player, but when you look at the construct of the offense right now, we haven't seen Duvernay much in practice. We haven't seen him in any preseason games at all. So now you got to ask the question, can you move him for another piece? Can you get a cornerback? Can you go and get a defensive end? Can you go and get another outside linebacker? Can you get somebody? That's where we are at this point. They're not. I think Queen is here to stay at least for this year. I think he's one of those guys that we're just going to hang on to, and then if somebody comes calling around the trade deadline, that could be a potential move right there, depending on what the injury outlook is on the team. Knock on wood. I just don't. I just think that you're going to have to give up something to get something because cornerback does not look good right now. We look like we don't have very much to offer in terms of pass coverage. I just think it's one of those things where you're going to have to give up something that you value in order to get something that you need.
Yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to have to. They're going to have to. And I hope Owe and Ojabo prove me wrong. I just feel like, and I know we got some young guys that we drafted, but I just feel like something else has to be added. You know what I mean? I'm not saying a superstar, just another decent pass rusher, somebody.
Yes, and we might be completely wrong in our assumption. We don't know what Jadeveon Clowney is going to look like lined up on opening day. I think he probably has an axe to grind against the Houston Texans for getting rid of him and not giving him a big money deal after drafting him number 1.
But we know what he is, though, man. He's a thumper against the run, and he's going to give you 5 sacks a year. That's what he is. I mean, that's what he is.
And I'm okay with that. I was listening to Rod Woodson talk to Sandusky tonight. And by the way, Rod Woodson is a fantastic play-by-play.
Yeah, he is.
Absolutely incredible. I love listening to Rod Woodson talk. He said that he thinks Jadeveon Clowney is going to be more of a replacement to Calais than to Houston. He said they can
of course.
So I've been saying that on the show. It was nice to hear somebody that is a Hall of Famer echo those sentiments. And it just gives me a lot of pause after watching the last couple of games where Ojabo has gone against. Now, granted,
he played almost the whole game today.
He did, and granted, the first couple series, maybe the first half, he had to go against Tristan Wirfs, who was an All-Pro left tackle.
Boys, don't start that.
I'm not making excuses for him. I just know that he saw ones today. That's all I'm saying. Is he saw ones today. He saw ones last week, and then he stayed in for most of the game. When he saw these backup offensive tackles, I mean, this is when he should have been on his A game, getting to the quarterback, getting pressure, and he didn't.
None.
I hope to God it's not the situation that you're talking about where he's saving his pass rush repertoire until week
Because to
1.
me, it looked a lot like Owe. He's just bull rushing. Nothing.
I don't like that.
Hell no, I don't like it.
I don't like it even a little bit.
No.
Not even.
No.
That's just.
And hey, man, why we forgot on offense? Josh Johnson, I think is going to steal the job from Huntley. I just got a feeling, or I got a feeling they're going to make up some injury with Huntley and put him on the IR or something.
I think he does go on the IR, even if it's short term.
Yeah,
I know one thing that Anthony Brown is not going to be a Raven this year. If he's on the practice squad, that's surprising me. But it was telling that we were reported to be one of the teams that were interested in Trey Lance.
Yeah.
From the 49ers. He ended up going to Dallas, which is not a bad look considering they haven't had a really good backup for Dak in years.
Yeah.
So I think that it just really shows that we're in the market for a backup QB. Maybe if the Lions don't hold on to Teddy Bridgewater, we can grab him. Or, a surprise backup quarterback that's cut. I know Arizona traded for Josh Dobbs the other day. I'm not confident in Huntley. Huntley's lost arm strength, and if he's not picking up this offense the way that he should be, I didn't like the fact that he only played in one preseason game this year.
Yeah,
I think he only played in one.
Yeah, well, if they want to use him as trade bait in the future, and you know damn well he ain't picking this offense up, do you want to put that on film?
But don't you want him to get some film so you can have some teams at least offer you something?
Shit, there's plenty of. He's got fucking like 10 starts, dude, and fucking playoff starts, multiple. Not playoff. He's got multiple playoff appearances, one playoff start. Almost beat one of the best quarterbacks in the world. So I don't think he needs any film.
That's fair. I'll say this: I was completely wrong. I was completely wrong about Tyler Huntley.
Shocker.
I was completely wrong about him.
What do you mean?
Because now, no, I thought he was going to be a lot better than this. I thought that he was going to, make this quarterback situation a whole.
Yeah, the whole town was.
I seriously thought that he was going to make this a difficult decision for quarterbacking, and then the playoffs happened.
I always liked Huntley, and I thought you could win a few games with him, even win a playoff game with him. But I never considered him like a complete quarterback starter because he has that goofy fucking wind up, and them guys never make it, man. That Tebow, I call it the Tebow wind up. He can't flick it. He's got a wind, and that only can get you so far, man. For guys key in on that, and his wind last year was getting worse. Or like that's not a word. It was declining as the year went.
It's a word if you went to Patterson.
Fuck off.
That's
at least
funny.
We had girls at our school. You being sausage fest at your school.
Yeah, but I know that worser is not a word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
English is English. You fight for your life with the English language every day.
Probably a lot of homosexual sex going on over there at MSJ.
I wouldn't know.
Come on, man, move on. It's gonna get bad if we keep going down this first.
I know. I was waiting for you to wave the white flag first. So I'm still kind of a little skeptical about how Pat Ricard fits into the team. I was thinking about, they showed the display with the backfield and they had Ricard there. I like Ben Mason. I think that he's going to be another practice squad guy. Hopefully nobody grabs him again like the Patriots did last year. He's
they barred him for the year and then sent him back.
Pretty much. That's how it happened. I don't believe that Ricard has a spot that's going to guarantee him nearly the amount of snaps that he wants.
Yeah.
He's not going to be on the field 75% of the snaps like he was the last couple of years.
They got to have some kind of plan, dude. He's making too much money. He's got to be I don't know. I'm curious to see how they use him too. Is he going to be more of that third tight end? But that's Roman's up. I don't know, man. They got to have some kind of plan.
You got to. I mean,
You can't just have him on like all run plays because then you know when he's in there what's happening. You got to mix it up a little bit.
one thing we do know is that we got 3 tight ends that can all catch the ball and run with it after the catch. Kohler, the last 2 games, has displayed that he can catch the ball and get upfield. He did it tonight. He had a really nice catch over the. He had a really nice catch over the middle towards the left sideline, and he turned upfield and got another extra 10 or 15 yards. The dude can play.
He can play.
I like the fact that our tight end room is pretty much sealed, and
that's sealed, signed, delivered, bud.
Yeah, I definitely I agree with you 100%. I think I don't want to say he's a wasted roster spot. I'm just worried that where Pat Ricard is for the amount of money he's making, we could go in a different direction, or just we should have never really backed off the making him an offensive lineman. I'm not saying
I don't think that was working out, dude. From the rumors I've heard, and it sounded like it was an experiment that ended quick.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you make him a guard or a center, you could always still put him in at tight end. You don't have to change his number. He could still have been 42, and you could have just used him as a backup O lineman, and that way you could have used that fullback spot for somebody else. For another wide receiver or another outside linebacker, because I really think Malik Ham should make the team, even though they're projecting that he won't.
I hope he does. I think he deserves to.
I think
Local
he does
kid,
too.
Man, he's played his ass off.
I'm just, I don't think that you're gonna.
They got John Simpson being our left guard.
Yeah, and I haven't even really seen him suit up that much. He might have been suiting up at practice and 11 on 11s and stuff, but he has not even dressed for a preseason game at all this year.
Yeah.
So it's scary because left guard has been our question mark for the better part of the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. I must say, McCary's tattoos are badass. Badass. Tattoos look cooler when you got big muscles.
Fair enough.
It's true.
I'm speaking of McCary, it's a little weird that he didn't get no consideration for guard. Like, I know we talked about this on our last show, Josh, that he is a better swing tackle and he's kind of like the do-it-all offensive lineman. But he's making $3.5 million a year.
But they did that for a reason, for depth, man. He's a solid person to have off the bench, and they knew that paying him, and that's what he's being paid for. And he's probably going to get extended again after this one.
Yeah, it's crazy how if he's good enough to be your swing tackle and he's small enough to be your left guard, why not just make him your left guard? And if one of the tackles goes down, you just go to another backup and move him around. It makes too much sense.
I guess they like keeping him healthy and fresh.
I guess
they don't want him banging up every play. I think they like keeping him fresh. There's certain guys they like and they protect, like him, Josh Oliver. There's guys that they're on that list where they protect them, man.
Oh yeah, I agree with you 100%.
They love Josh Oliver. They love him,
and he's gone.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Ravens offensive line, there was a report that came out this evening about a former Ravens offensive lineman, Ryan Jensen, was put back on the season-ending injured reserve for the second year in a row. It's being reported by a lot of reputable veteran NFL reporters that Jensen might be done for the rest of his career.
Ryan Jensen?
Yeah.
Why?
The ACL knee tear, he tore every ligament in his knee last year, and he had surgery. He rehabbed. There was complications. They put him on season-ending IR around 9 o'clock tonight, and it's being reported he may never play again. So
Jeez.
it's a little bit of sad news to hear about our boy Ryan Jensen, who was a fantastic offensive lineman for the Ravens. Brought that fire and that energy.
Won a Super Bowl in Tampa. Got a big ass contract.
Yeah, did all that. So Jensen, there's a chance Jensen may never play again, and that's just sad to see, considering he's in his early 30s and good offensive linemen hang around for a while. So yeah, I'm interested to see how the roster shakes out come Tuesday. There's going to be a couple surprises in there. There's going to be people that we see get chopped that we don't want to see go. Like you said, I agree with you that there might be a big move or two that is made by the team to get ready for week 1.
I just got a feeling he's going to do something. Either he's going to add another corner somehow, or it's going to be an edge guy, pass rusher. He's got to.
Yeah. So moving on to the Baltimore Orioles.
They're good. They won.
They're 5-4 again. The bullpen and the entire team took a blow with Felix Bautista.
Fuck.
They're
saying it's not a long-term injury.
They're saying it's not, but he's getting evaluated. There's a chance, an outside chance, that this could be a Tommy John issue.
Don't say that.
But you got to be realistic about it.
I don't want to be.
You don't want this guy to you don't want this guy to go.
Fuck no! Shoot his arm up with lidocaine and let's get his ass out there. What do you fucking mean?
I think that the bullpen is going to take a hit. But I think they're strong enough on that back end to where
he's the best closer in baseball. Yeah, I mean, I think Cano can get in there. Fuji, if he can keep his accuracy going.
And then we just called up DL.
DL came up. DL's velocity is up.
And they've been prepping him for the bullpen all year. So I'm not. Wells should be up. Means should be up. So honestly, all the best pitchers that we have in our organization are going to be in the rotation or in the bullpen for the last month of the season.
Who do you think the odd man's out, Matt, going into that playoff roster?
Perez.
Yeah.
Even though he's pitching pretty well, I think CNL Perez.
About to say he's been pitching well the last few games.
Might be the odd man out. That's just me. I'm not saying that he should be. This is going to be tough because the Orioles are going to be in the position now where they got to put every arm out there that they know is solid. Means your starting rotation is going to be Bradish, Kramer, Rodriguez, Cole Irvin, and potentially somebody like Flaherty if Flaherty can get right. If not, he might be a bullpen arm for the at least the divisional series. So
I'm not a big fan of Flaherty.
I mean,
yeah, that one game he's looked like shit ever since.
I don't want to agree with Jason, but I think he might be right. Flaherty isn't really the bulldog that we wanted to go and get.
And what's with Jason Locke being on fucking Masson all the time now? Like, come on, guys. It's bad enough we got him on the afternoon show. Now you're going to put him on fucking Masson with Rob Long? Come on. Dude don't belong on a camera.
But he is an Orioles ass kisser. That's what happens with Orioles ass kissers. The team gives them jobs. That's why Rob Long is at Masson. Rob Long never really said a whole lot of bad things about the Orioles on air. La Canfora, you would think that he's a minor league encyclopedia the way he talks about them.
Oh, yeah. He's the minor league guy. He knows all the minor league guys. Dudes I never heard of a day in my life.
He was banging. You could hear him banging on the table live on air when Basallo, the catcher, got put in the top 100 prospects. Like, come on, man. Like this, you're being a little overboard. But now he's parlayed that into another side gig, a little bit more money in his pockets, and he's on Madison broadcast now.
Dude had enough
He's
makeup on. Tell you that.
of course. I mean,
Had
that's
about
what
an
they
inch
do.
layer. It was about an inch thick.
So let's go back before. I know we're getting sidetracked. I know that you're not a lock and four guy. The bullpen's going to be 13 deep come October.
All right.
You got Kramer, Bradish, Grayson, Irvin, and either Gibson or Flaherty in your rotation. I don't think Means is going to be in the rotation. So there's your five. You're going to have either Flaherty or Gibson in the bullpen. You're going to have Tyler Wells in the bullpen. Colome, Fuji, Cano, Hall, who's the new guy that we got? His name is escaping me right now. We just claimed him off waivers. The relief pitcher.
Oh, I can't remember his fucking name, dude.
He wears number 66. Oh my god, it's escaping me right now. He's going to be in the.
Somebody comment who he is. The guy they got the other day.
Yeah, who's come in and pitched well the last couple of times.
He's pitched real well. I don't fucking know his name.
I'm about to look it up. I can't not know his name live on air.
Why?
It is Jacob Webb. Jacob Webb. That is the man right there. Jacob Webb is the guy I was trying to figure out.
I wanted to say something red.
So Jacob Webb is going to be in there. You don't know if Michael Bauman's going to be back up for it, or if it's going to be Perez, or it's really hard to figure. It's really hard to know what they're going to do. But they need to have all hands on deck, and every pitcher that is worth a shit in this organization needs to be on the major league roster for the divisional series. With the way we're looking right now, we're 2 wins away from last year's win total.
That's insane, dude.
It's absolutely insane. We're almost 40.
They're at least going to be a 100-win team.
I was thinking around 95 to 97, but 100 wins isn't.
Matt, they only got to go 500 to be a 100-win team.
I know. I truly believe that our basement is 97 wins, and that just brings me so much joy to even think about that. Like in my head, like
I've been waiting for this my whole life.
I've been waiting for it. We've been waiting for this for our entire adult lives. I'm so excited about the Orioles that I'm not even super pumped for September 10th with the Texans season opener. Even though I know we got the Ravens Super Show on Wednesday, and I know that we're going to do our thing and make sure that we can get that show, loaded up. But the Orioles are the talk of the town right now, and it's so refreshing. I'm looking forward to it more now than ever.
And I think the other thing that people like is, they're going to be good for a while. These guys are under control for a long time.
They are. So I still want us to go out there and win the whole goddamn thing this year. To steal a line from Major League, go win the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
I have faith in us. That bullpen just scares me now without Batista. I think we have enough to cover it up. I just know that Batista's injury, the dude was a Cy Young candidate. That's not easily replaceable.
No, I gotta believe he's gonna be all right. I just got to. I can't even go down that road. I don't even want to talk about all that.
I understand. And on the offensive side of the ball, with the position players, Gunnar Henderson, runaway rookie of the year.
Oh, dude's a fucking monster. Put him in the Hall of Fame already. Give him his fucking $500 million. He's better than Machado. He's only going to get better. This fucker was playing high school baseball 2 days ago. Now he's just jacking them. We all should feel silly. I don't know. Gunner's starting to worry me, my dumb ass. He's starting to worry me. He's under. Now the motherfucker just hits home runs every night. He hits bombs. Them bombs he hit at the Coliseum last year against the Athletics were insane. Insane bombs. Just sky rocket bombs.
And now he's just muscling the ball over the fence.
Yeah, and you're good when you watch it slow down and he just is just sticking the bat head out and the ball is just shoot. It's just insane.
I love it. And Adley, still playing exceptional ball.
Yeah.
There hasn't really been a fall off after the home run derby appearance. The dude's hitting well, not having to catch every night. That's saving him tremendously.
He needs to be DH. His back hits. The more he DHs, the more his average goes up.
It does, and I like McCann. He is a good veteran backup catcher.
He is.
He's got a good control on the
One
staff.
could say he may be better throwing base runners out than Adley.
I think these rules are affecting Adley. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I agree with you. I agree with you that McCann has a rocket for an arm, and he's got impeccable timings. It seems at certain times. I'm looking forward to the series finale against the Rockies tomorrow. And who do we got after the Rockies?
I'm not sure, but I like when we play these cool interleague matchups. Teams we don't play too much of. It's neat.
Yeah. Almost makes you think with this lineup, it'd be nice to see us playing in Coors Field.
That'd be cool. The thin air. It's some bombs out there.
Henderson might hit a 600-foot home run.
He might. He might hit it all the way to the Rocky Mountains.
Well, we're hitting that 40-minute mark there, buddy. I think
shut it down. I'm tired. You're tired. Everybody's tired.
Yeah.
Everybody's got kids and shit.
We had a great show. The Ravens finished the preseason 1-2.
We got a new record going now. 2 losses in a row in the preseason.
I'm cool with that. Let's just go ahead and shut it down, buddy. We will see everybody tentatively for Wednesday night for the Raven Super Show. We will announce our guests the minute we lock them down.
We're locking them down. We're trying to get all kinds of people in here. We're going to go off about the Ravens. If you're not a Ravens fan, I suggest you don't watch it because it's going to be all Ravens talk. You say something about the squad, we're all going to come at you and attack you. We're going to shut this motherfucker down. It's time for bed.